Hi, guys, Vimal. I hope you're able to hear me. So let me log into the portal. So there is a one small topic that I'm going to talk. So once that is completed, then we're going to start the project. So mostly we'll start from the tomorrow, the project. And today I'm going to take you through the Delta Lake. Okay, so basically if you have a normal table, that normal table is not going to help you to apply DML operations. You cannot do the DML operations on the view. If you have a view and if you wanted to update anything on the view, you cannot do it. So updates are not going to be possible to do it. If you wanted to make any changes, then the table should have as a delta table. Only delta tables only can be allowed. Delta tables only can be allowed to do DML operations. Okay. Okay. So let me go to my cluster. Somewhere I have created these folders. Is this the same account? Yeah, this one only we are using. Okay. I have one sample data. Okay, so let's take the sample data itself. Why we need to go for others? So I'm going to create a view for this. Let me copy and take this paste. The task I wanted to say it is 34 or 35, 36. Create a data frame by reading data from employee.txt and create a view with above data frame and apply DML operation on top of view. On top of view, I wanted to do it. So any update statement or anything that we can do. Okay, so the first thing we already know it. I'm already having this. Like I'm just creating a data frame by reading data from this particular file and emp underscore df. I'm just displaying. So this is node step already. Okay, so once you create a data frame, the second step is we need to create a view. This step also we already know it. Let me execute first. I don't need this display statement. Okay, you can just take out it. I wanted to create just a data frame. Okay, cluster is required. Still it is not started. Now the cluster is available. It's going on. Now it is created. So for this data frame, I wanted to create a view. That is the second step. Creating a view. So data frame dot create or replace temp view v underscore employee. So in the last session also we have seen how we can do it. Now the view is created. The third step that I wanted to do is apply DML operations on view. So before applying, I'm just going to show you select star from table name. Let's execute it. You can see the data here. Okay. So for 101 record, I wanted to update this department number, or you can take a commission, anything that we can take for updating. Okay. So I wanted to update, let's go with this commission. I wanted to update this commission to 100. Okay, so some number I'm going to take it. You can update any record. Okay, so update comes under the DML operation update. Okay, so I wanted to do that. So for that, I'm just going to say update. V underscore employee set commission equals to 100, where employee number equals to 101. So this is the update statement. Let's try, will it allow or not? So update destination only supports Delta resources. Okay, so if the source is Delta source, then it is going to be allowed to update it. Okay, so even if you try to insert, it is not going to allow you to insert. If you try to delete, it is not going to allow you to delete it. So that particular DML operation supports only for the Delta sources. This is not a Delta source. This is not a Delta source. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, I'm back. So we have a employee data, right? So I'm just taking the same sample data only. I mean to say the same data frame data for explaining. Like there are few different modes are there when you write the data into the target. Okay. So before going to the delta table, that I wanted to do it. So let's say, for example, I wanted to create a data frame. I'm already having the data here. I can take the same data frame to get only department number 10. So different approaches we can take it to create it two data frames. Now I have a data frame emp underscore df. Let's say display of emp underscore data frame. So this is going to give all the data. So I wanted to keep only department number 10 in another data frame. Okay, so I wanted to keep it. So there are various options out there. You can use the filter function to create another data frame. I'm just creating data frame. Create data frame by taking department number 10 data from emp underscore df. So you can take it from here also. We can write emp underscore df dot filter. We already come across this. So I'm just going to say department number equals to 10. Okay, so if I say show, we already come across the same statements. The result I just wanted to show emp underscore 10 underscore, let's say emp 10 underscore df equals to. Okay, so I wanted to write empdf to your target. Empdf to target, I wanted to write it. Okay, so you can write emp10df and empdf also. Okay. Writing emp underscore df data to target. So target folder that we know already in the last session, we have seen how we can write the data. Let me say emp underscore df dot write. So when you write it, what kind of format you are going to take it, that you have to specify here. The format type is Parquet, and the mode you have to specify. So mode I'm just going to take overwrite. And then save. So where do you want to save, that you need to specify. File store adb02, I think AD02. So inside this we have a target. Inside target I wanted to say employee -all. I'm just giving the file name because all the data is available in the emp underscore df. Okay, so this entire thing should be there in the bracket. So this is how we can write the data, employee df data. I'm just writing. And apart from that, I wanted to even write this department number 10 data also. Okay, so let me take this comment here. So this time emp10 underscore df data to target, I wanted to do it. The same thing, I'm just going to take a copy, paste it. So here it is going to change emp10 underscore df is going to show here. So since it is department number 10, I'm just going to say -. 10, I'm just giving it. Okay, just for differentiating, I'm just taking this 10 here. Now let me execute. Once I execute this, it is going to load the data into this particular place. Just have a look, is there a data or not? Let's go to DBFS, file store, and AD02, target. So on the target, we have only one file only. In the last session we have seen. So when I execute this, it is going to create these two files with Parquet style. So I'm just going to execute that. Oh, what is the data frame? It is EMP underscore 10. Okay, maybe I have not executed this. Yeah, let's re-execute. So since there is an override, there will be no problem. Now if you go and see your catalog, you can find EMP employee -10 and employee all is available. All employees are available. In another file, you're going to have only department number 10 details. Okay, so I wanted to read the data from both of them. I wanted to cross verify how many number of records are there for both of them. Okay. So if you wanted to do that, then definitely what you have to do, you have to see how many number of records are there. You can use this one also. Okay, so better like for validation purpose, I'm just taking this data. I wanted to read the data from this particular place, and I wanted to create a separate data frame. Okay, so I mean to say, write a code to get total number of rows, from employee -all. Okay, so I'll change the statement again. So in order to do this, I'm just going to take this path. So what we have to use, we need to use, let's say emp underscore df underscore all I'm taking. Spark dot read dot format. So format is Parquet. Then load. Just specify this path and keep this entire thing in the braces. I wanted to display this data here, or you can see the count. Data frame dot count. So how many number of records are available, it is going to show you here. So 15 records are there. In this particular case, we have 15 records. Okay, so we have one more data frame with department number 10. So I wanted to go and show you how we can, like, what I wanted to say. I wanted to append this number of records to existed data frame. Okay, so here before appending, I mean to say when I take the data from here, you're having this data, right? So we already like what we can say. So here I have a data from this place. I'm having a 15 records. So what I wanted to do is, I wanted to append the data, whatever the data is there in the AMP10 underscore DF. So that data I wanted to append to this particular place. So at this point of time, there is only one file. We see DBFS, and you can see there is only one part file is there. Only one part file is there. I wanted to append the data. Okay, I wanted to append the data. So if you wanted to append the data, what you can do is, before applying, append it. Okay, so I'm just going to append the data. Append EMP10 underscore DF data to employee all directory. So I'm going to do it. The same to same, what you can do is EMP and EMP10 underscore DF dot write dot format. So format is Parquet. And then load. File store AD02 target employee all. But we have to give the mode here. The mode is, last time I've taken override. If I take a override, what happens is, it is going to overwrite the data. Okay, if I go with override, basically we should not go for override. If I go for override, it is going to have this data alone. So we should not take this override. If you wanted to add this data to this particular folder, and we need to use as append. So if you use this as an append, let me keep this in the bracket. So after appending, I wanted to see this count again. After applying appending operation, I wanted to see the count. Let's execute this. What is this? Sorry, not load. Save it is. Now if you see the count again, last time 15 we have seen, now you can see the different. Now you can see 18 are there, because two part files will be there. If you go to the catalog, DBFS, now you can see in this, you can find there are two part files. Okay, so when you read the data from here, you can give a folder name. Automatically, your Databricks can understand you have to take the data from the part files only. Okay, so we don't need to worry about it. Okay, so this is how we can get it. So if you wanted to check the, you already know it. In order to see what are the files are available in this particular folder, you can use the ls command to check the Parquet files. Okay, so that we already seen many times as part of the DBFS. So for easiness, I'm just taking you through this catalog. You can use this catalog also. Okay, so the next one is, instead of Instead of saving this data as a Parquet, I wanted to save this data as a delta. Okay, so I wanted to save the data as delta table. So if you wanted to save the data as delta table, then how you can do it? So how we can create a delta table? By using the data frame. So I wanted to create a delta table. We'll see how we can do it with a SQL at the time of project. But how we can create a delta table with the data frame, I'm going to show you. Creating delta table by using mp_df data frame. So mp_df dot same right dot format. So in the format last time we have taken Parquet, now we have to take as a delta. To treat that as a delta, we need to give a delta. Okay, so before that, let me show you this list of files, how exactly the list is there. I mean to say, what we can say, like get list of Parquet files, dbutils.fs.ls, file store, AD02, target, employee-all. Let's execute it. So I can say like this, and I'm just going to say a display. So these two part files are having the rate. Okay. These two part files are available inside this. And if I create a delta table, how exactly it is going to be there, we'll see. If it is normal file format, how exactly it is going to be there, it's there here. So this is not going to help us to update or anything. And if it is a delta table, then it is going to allow us to apply DML operations. So instead of saying Parquet, I'm just going to make this as a delta. Dot mode. So mode, I'm just going to say overwrite. Dot save. So under the save, I'm just going to give file store AD02 target. So inside the target, I'm just going to make this as a delta. Inside the delta, I'm going to give employee-all. Let's keep inside the brace. So this path is not existed at this point of time. Okay, so once I execute it, it is going to be available. Let's execute this. I wanted to check the details of this particular path. So I can use even %fs also ls, and you can take like this to list the list of items in the folder. Let's execute this also. Now if you see in this particular file, you can have, there is a underscore delta log, underscore delta underscore log, and there is a one part file is available. This part file is having the data. Okay, and if I append the data, how exactly it is going to be there, we can see. Okay, so I'm just going to append with the same delta format, how exactly it is going to be there. If I append, creating, not creating, appending, emp10 underscore df data to employee hyphen r directory. Okay, so instead of taking this override, I'm just going to take append. I'm just going to take append. So if I append, how exactly it is going to get? Let me do it. Not this one. It is emp10 underscore df. Let's execute it. Now if you see the files here, one more file will be attached. So if you want to read the data from this particular path, I wanted to read the data from here. What type of format it is? The type of format is Parquet. And previously here also, the type of file format is what? Parquet file format. So in order to read the data from this place, what we have used, you have taken as Parquet file format, right? The same thing, I'm just going to try to do it from here also. The same thing, I'm just going to try to do from this particular place in order to read the data by using spark.read format. Okay, so I'm just going to say spark.read format. Okay. I'm just writing here itself load. Dot show. Or you can take this entire thing inside the display. Let's execute it. So it's not going to be readable. Like what it is saying, incompatible format is detected. So it's a Parquet file only basically, but you cannot read it. The reason is you have a underscore delta log. So when the moment it finds underscore delta log, it treats this as a delta. The format of the file is delta. Okay, so it's a delta table. You cannot read the data from here. You cannot read the data from here directly with Parquet file. So instead of having this Parquet format here, you have to say delta. Then it is possible to read it. Let's execute it. Now you can see. Okay, so you can use format as a delta. When we can use this format as a delta is only if the file, if the format is delta format, you can take it. How can you identify that is a delta format is? If the path is having underscore delta, then you have to take a format as a delta to read the data from here. Otherwise, you cannot read the data from there. Okay, so I wanted to create a delta table. Like with SQL style, I wanted to create a delta table. Okay, with SQL style, I wanted to create a delta table. Creating data table by reading data from delta tables. Delta files. So these are all the delta files, but table is not available for this. Okay. So table is not available. I can create a table by pointing to this particular path. By pointing to this particular path, I can do it, and then I can go for doing any kind of operation on top of that particular table. Okay, so you cannot create a delta table with Parquet file formats, and you can create a delta table only if you have a underscore delta underscore log. If you have, then you can create a delta table. So for this particular columns, I wanted to create it. Let's say create. Let me keep this as SQL. Create table. Table name is employee underscore delta. I'm just going to give this list of columns here. Employee number as string, integer, ename, string, job, string, mgr, integer, hire date, salary, float, commission, float, department number, integer. Okay, so I'm just declaring all the data types. Okay, so better basically we used to keep it in lines like this. Just for to know the column names, I just kept it and all of them in single line. Can adjust it later. I have the list of columns. Okay, so this is the table. But this table should get the data, right? We already have the data in the delta format. So I'm just going to say using a delta. You have to take options. So in the options, you have to specify the path. The path file store AD02 target delta and delta. Inside delta, I have an employee -r. Now I'm just going to create this table. I'm not feeding the data. I'm just creating table by pointing to this folder. It's a metadata only. This delta table is going to have only metadata. But actual data is there in the file store. Okay, so let's execute it. Is that mgr hire date salary commission. This commission data type is what is the commission data type? Numbers only. The schema does not match the existing schema. File store target employee all. Employee number, ename, job, mgr, hire date, salary, commission, department number. Let me check df equals to double integer. I don't think that is a problem. Still I'm wondering how to happen. Oh, comma is missing. Not sure. I think I kept some comma here. Just go through that recorded what mistake I have done. You can see. So mostly I've taken the same thing. Maybe I kept some comma here. So now it is created the table. The table is employee underscore delta. Percentage equal. Select star from table name. Now I have some records here and 101. I wanted to do the same update, whatever the update we have done. Last time I tried to do that update, this 500 as 100, right? So somewhere I've written that statement. I'm just going to take that update statement back. Here it is. Let's take a copy of this. So in place of this, I'm going to take employee delta. Employee underscore delta is the name of the table. So this is the table, right? So I'm going to update it. So before updating, I wanted to show you how many files are available inside this. Before updating, I wanted to show you how many number of files available. So 2 files are available. I'm just going to make it update. So this is one transaction. For every transaction, it is going to create a one part file. Let's execute it. Now one row is affected, one row is updated. Okay, so if you see this particular record again, select star from delta table. For 101, we can say 100 as a commission. For 101, you can see there is a commission is 100. And if you see the list of files here, you can see the part files. Okay, so 3 part files because the update is happened. So okay, so this is more enough. We don't need to go and more in detail. And if you wanted to see what is there inside this log, you can see inside the log file also if you wanted to check. Okay, so up to here, this is more enough for us. How we can update if it is a delta table, it allows you to make update. If it is not a delta table, then it is not going to allow you to update it. So that is what we are going to have it. Only if you have a delta files, then only you can create a delta table. Otherwise, you cannot create a delta table. So how do you know that is a delta files or data tables is? If you have a underscore delta log, if you have, then you can take it. So this file, delta underscore log. If you have this file, then we can say that is a delta format. Okay, so I'm stopping here. If you have any question, you can ask me. From tomorrow, we are going to see the project, and in project also we are going to see few topics which are not covered in this particular class. Any question?
Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yeah.
What are the files that we are stored in DBFS? Like, can't we see those files? Like, Azure containers?
Parquet, in
Not
Parquet, you wanted to say in ADLS?
Yeah, like, what are the files we stored, right, in the stored in the DBFS?
We'll see that from the project. We are going to use Azure Data Lake storage only.
Okay, there we can see all the files. Okay.
Yes, the same thing. Like here, I'm taking this path, right? You can take your Azure Data Lake storage Gen 2 path. Okay, so in order to do this, we need to do something. So because of that reason, I make it hold. So maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow is setting for environment. It may take in the next week. We are going to see if I'm correct. In the next week or in the ending of the week, we are going to see how we can create a tables in the Azure Data Lake storage center. We are going to see that. We are not going to use the DBFS. Okay, so here for easy purpose, I wanted to take you through this with DBFS. But in general, you can go for Azure Data Lake storage center.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, if you don't have any question, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for